Welcome, all my right thinkers. Thanks for tuning in. Check out your boy, P Funk. Thinking right out here in the lab. What I do for you. Got a nice lesson for you today. If you're into rituals, let's go. A lot of us do follow rituals. Little heads up. Rightisms. 25 will live by. Storytelling. Story with a message is the message in the story for life. I give life lessons. You tune in receiving them. I appreciate you. We got a good thing going. Let me get to do what I do for you. Right thinking mission. That's what I'm on. Is to enlighten, inspire, educate, and motivate you, the individual, to a higher spiritual level of enlightenment. Right things with life. And that's what it is. Through mental and spiritual discipline daily will help and guide you to obtain your goal of spiritual enlightenment, aka know thyself. That's my mission that all right thinkers, all 1900 y'all appreciate you do. Know thyself. That means I got at least 1900 people knowing themselves. I'm on my job. I'm doing what I have to do to help you. Let's go. I asked the question, do you know you? It's okay. It's rhetorical, but if you don't have the answer for yourself, tune in. That's what I do for you. I can help you with that. A person who knows not and knows not that they know not is foolish. Disregard them. A person who knows not and knows that they know not is simple. You can teach them. That's why I do what I do for you. Appreciate you too. Stay tuned. I got more for you. A person who knows not and believes and think that they know is dangerous, avoid them. I do. A person who knows but knows not that they know is spiritually asleep. I can awaken them. I'm the spiritual alarm clock here to wake you up with knowledge of self. A person who knows and knows that they know is wise. Follow them. All these persons reside in you. Right thinkers, know thyself and to Mayat, be true. Let's talk about right thinkers. Let's talk about the ritual of initiation. We on this initiation kit because I'm trying to explain to you, if you're going to be a part of something, you have to be initiated into it. You have to understand what you're doing. That's my job to teach you. So let's go. Rituals are a powerful process which can lead the mind toward what? Spiritual thoughts, positive thinking, and aspirations, or toward pain and sorrow. Your choice in life. You can choose to do the right thing, positive spiritual thinking, or you can go through life and suffer pains and sorrow from being ignorant. Simple. My job is to help enlighten you, to dispel ignorance within you. All you got to do is take it upon yourself to want to do the same thing. I can help you out with that. Now, people tend to cling to the ignorance. Why? By consistently seeking for pleasures and fulfillment in the world of time and space through human relationships, gaining wealth, owning possessions, etc. See, we're going with that. All material things. Remember, we are spiritual beings, not material. But some of us think that we are. So that's the concept. For example, watch this. Example of negative rituals. You have some. Watch this. You have some good and some bad. The idea is to teach you both so you can make a decision for yourself what works for you. You might want to be bad. I chose that route. He chose that route. Okay, a lot of people do. Some of us do it unknowingly. We did it willingly. A little different. Okay, so understand that. But watch this. Examples of a bad rituals. Going to the video stores, watching extra hours of television, gossiping about a bunch of nothing, partying, or going to movie theaters in what? In search of excitement, happiness, fun. You're trying to find fun in the world. You're trying to find pleasure doing things in the world, which is okay, but that's not what it's all about. But in the course of ordinary life, what happens? You may experience what? These, but if you rely on them, you can do those things, but if you rely on them as a source of your pleasure and happiness, you are bound for what? Disappointment. That's the name of the game. When you're feeling or living through the senses of the body for what you want, your desires of now, you're going to be disappointed. All of life's activities are what? Pretty much ritualistic to some degree. Why? Because you do it every day. Every day we repeat Many actions, such as what? Move here. Such as eating breakfast, sleeping, going to work, going to school, watching more television, and other activities are less frequent but just as ritualistic. When you do something on a regular basis, it's a ritual. Good or bad, don't make a difference. Again, these include marriage, childbearing, etc. The basis of society rituals is customs and pretty much daily habits. We get accustomed to doing certain things. And if you want to follow society, then that's fine. But watch this. Society teaches and socializes young individuals into what? The activities of that it deems acceptable. And thereby social ritual development, meaning you want to be part of what's going on. You want to be with the in crowd. Back in the day, some people want to hang out with the cool people. Everybody ain't cool. So, be that part. Play the role. That ain't you, it ain't you. But rituals can be bad or good. What? According to the level of what? Spiritual realization within you, the individual, as well as society as a whole. But society perpetrates the fraud. Fake it till you make it. P-Funk means pure. I don't fake nothing. If a society, watch this, will allow exploitation of some of its members, then rituals and customs develop which affirm that belief system. Again, we follow a belief system which society developed, and its materialistic views of life is discounted. The spiritual values and material values become part of general culture. We want more material things than spiritual. I keep telling to y'all, we have become humans. We're spiritual beings, divine, gods in human form. But we forget who we are. My goal is to get you to remember, to know, to wake up, to become conscious of who we are. That's all I got for you. That's my job. Just to get you to God. Nothing else. I got concepts and views from my ancient ancestors. I ain't got to make it up. I just got to bring it to you, present it to you, and you take it from there. That's what I do for you. Let's go. Thus, when you're pursuing material wealth and experiences of sensual pleasures have become the most common practice ritual in modern day society. We all want to be rich and famous. We all want everybody to want us, to love us, all that nonsense. That's human. Spiritual is you going through life, enjoying your life, getting the blessings, benefiting from doing the right thing, and your life is fine. I don't need everybody in my business. I don't need everybody know what I'm doing. I'm a teacher. I come here to teach. After that, I'm on my own. Sorry about that. But it's starting to get a little annoying because we keep doing the same thing over, expecting something different to happen. That's the true definition of insanity. If what you're doing is not working, change it. If what you're doing is working, inspire other people to do the same. That's right thing of philosophy right there. If you got something good, share it. Simple. All right? But now this is reflected in our society, in business, government, and even in the family. A way of life at all levels of society has been controlled, manipulated by the powers that be, by having you thinking it's all about gaining, having, and being. Knowing thyself is the reason why we're here, spiritual beings in human form, but we got caught up in life, in human. So we come here over and over and over. That's insanity. And it's also ignorance. Let's go. Now, these rituals are all what? Performed toward, listen, perishable goals, meaning stuff that's not going to last. Material things, fame and fortune, money, possessions, those things don't last. We got that from Tutankhamun. All that jewelry, all that gold, it didn't go nowhere. They got it in the museums right now. Okay, he ain't nowhere to be found. But when you build your goals on perishable things, thus you can never satisfy the inner need of your soul. Why? Because that's not what it wants. It wants enlightenment. It wants to know itself. And this movement, watch this, constitutes a constant movement in what? Ignorance, which leads to further ignorance. Ignorance plus ignorance is ignorance. Ignorance times ignorance is still ignorance. If ignorance is in the equation, you have a problem. Simple. Remove ignorance. Which, watch this. Now, where's religion? What is ignorance most found on? In religious. Excuse me, while religious rituals, here we go, are also, okay, in the realm of human activity. It's a human ritual. If performed with growing levels of understanding, the purpose of it is for you to get the understanding and devotion towards who? Divine, your higher self. We got some rituals that promote the lower self. We know about them. Okay, demonic stuff, satanic stuff. We know that. Why? Because it's fair game. Duality means there's two sides, good and bad. You choose. Some people choose the bad. I was one of those people. I understand that. But when you choose good, watch this. When you choose good towards the divine, you will be led to what? Greater and greater peace and what? Self-knowledge, which is the basis of the best knowledge. Academic scholarly knowledge is good in society. It means nothing if you don't know thyself. Or if you don't have self-knowledge, you have no knowledge. Therefore, the sage, okay, and saints have enjoined what? Several rituals, here we go, prayers and words of power, we call it heka, to help what? To help spiritual aspirants, right thinkers, turn their mind toward spiritual realization rather than toward what? Perishable worldly attainments which will inevitably lead to what? You ready? More disappointments, pain, and sorrow in your life. Because when you're chasing certain things, when you don't get them, you feel bad about that. That's personal. You set yourself up for failure with your ambitions and your dreams that may be a little bit out of your reach. Okay, we say if you can conceive it, you can achieve it. But comes that is what? The work you got to put in to achieve it. Everybody ain't built for that. Moving on. Many is called, few are chosen. Why? Some of us going to fail. I asked the question, Lord, if teaching was my calling, why you let me do all this nonsense? Because you needed me to be ready to do what I'm doing now for you without being deterred, swayed, or bamboozled. I'm ready to do his work. Let's go. I'm not going to be that guy like T.D. Jakes and preachers who say one thing and do something else. If you say it, you better live it. That's my philosophy. That's right thinking philosophy. Let's go. But now watch this. Now keep in mind, with this in mind, you have the following initiation ritual. This is what I'm going to break down for you right quick. And it's presented for those, this is for those who have not yet come into what? Personal contact with a real spiritual preceptor. I'm one. You here now. If you tune in, you got it. And who would like to what? Begin formal spiritual practice. Come on. In the mystical system of right thinking philosophy, aka yoga system, or their own until what? Such a time as you come into contact with a spiritual preceptor. First, these are things. I have my setup right here. Okay? We all have shrines. We have spots where we worship. Okay? Well, I got my mayat. I got my Bible. I got a few other books. Stuff that I deem symbolically important. Everybody's shrine is going to be different. But it's for you to pay respect at the time and point when you want to do that. I do it every morning. Let's go. So let's go. First, you locate the area in your home. I got my lab. Okay. Some people call it man cave. No, I'll tell you what it is, a lab. Where I do my work at. Simple. So all that, what you want to call it, a sheet, all that nonsense. Come on, man. If I tell you my name, I expect you to call me that. If I tell you my name and you call me some other name, I'm not going to respond. Moving on. I'm tired of being told, well, I'm crazy. No, you can call me when I tell you to call me. Sorry about that. But that's the problem. They changed everything. We know who they are. Let's go. But when you're doing spiritual work, it's personal. Gonna do nobody but you and your higher self. So understand that. Let's go. So the area you will be used for what? Only yoga practice. Yoga is meditation. Okay. So now gather what? Your basic materials needed to create your own altar. You build your own altar based on what you think is important. An altar is a place for worship which contains certain artifacts which hold specific spiritual symbolism that lead to spiritual awareness. Something that's going to keep your mind on God, keep you close to God. symbolically. Okay. Now, let's start it with the following items are to be considered as a basic listing of items. Everybody's different again. You are free again to choose other items which what resonate with your spiritual consciousness. What makes you feel good, what you gravitate to, what's important to you, make it symbolic and you put it as a perspective that you can follow. Keep your spiritual discipline, holding you accountable to do what's right. Okay. First of all, a table. Got that. See if I fit the criteria. I'm gonna break it down. Then I'm gonna move on to the next lesson. But let's go. Let's wrap this up. Small table. These are the items that should be on the table for some people. You have a candle. The candle holds a deep mystic symbolism, meaning what? It contains within itself all the four elements of creation, which is what? Fire, earth, wax in solid form, water, wax in liquid form, and air. All are consumed in what? The burning process of all of them coming together to produce what? Light, aka fire. This single light represents the singular consciousness, one. Everything is from the one, which shines where? Throughout the entire universe. The light is the illumination which causes what? Life to exist. And it's the reason for what? The source of the human mind, excuse me. The mind is what God gave us to be free will. It grows with us and it grows in intellect as we use it. So if you study, learn, and manipulate, manifest for yourself the things that you learn, you will become a master of oneself. This is the whole goal of right thing, the philosophy to get you to become a self-master, aka know thyself with what? Knowledge and understanding, not a bunch of superstitious rigmarole. Now, the light is life itself. Understand that. Out of darkness came the light. Let there be light. And life is what? God. Sorry about that. Therefore, God is what? Ever present in the candle and in the universe, nature, and in your heart and mind. Again, that's my word. Heart, mind, what? Coherence. You got to put those two things together and you'll be good to go. Now, the third thing. This ain't what I do. I don't like the smell of incense. I mean, I ain't big on the incense. Again, everybody's choice. Just not one of mine. Again, incense invokes divine awareness through what? The sense of smell. I did a lot of stuff in my nose. My sense of smell ain't that good. So I ain't big on smelling incense. That ain't my thing. But when you perform your spiritual practice and you use special incense constantly, what? And every time you smell the incense, you will be what? The reminder of the divine and thoughts of feeling, even if you are not in a regular area or in a meditative state. Again, the sense, the smell, that's when the sense that the body uses to recognize anything. And the same thing with God. The fragrancy is the fragrance of a good smell or the innocent smell. It brings you to remember what? God, becoming God conscious. So they use that as a ritualistic concept. And therefore, you select a fragrance which appeals to you. Reflect within yourself that this is what? The fragrance of who? God. And in the same way as a flower emanates the fragrance, like the lotus flower, visualize that you are what? Smelling divinity itself. Put yourself symbolically in the spiritual concept, in the state of mind. That's how you raise your conscious level. Fourth, the Ankh. Everybody know about the Ankh, the original cross. But the Ankh is spiritual. The cross is something else. Let's talk about the Ankh. The Ankh is one of the most universal symbols, expressions, eternal life. Why? The union of opposites. Again, and it was as used by the world religious traditions, ancient Egyptian religion, early Christianity, Indian religion, and all others who profess spiritual concepts. The top part, the female womb. The bottom part, the male phallus. Them two come together, they have offspring. That's nature. No other way. Male and female, it goes both ways. Male and female. So the offspring is going to be optional. Moving on, but that's the purpose of the Ankh. It brings two things together, right? Two opposites joining. Fifth one. Now, this is another one I ain't big on, sculpture or pictures, symbols. I got the 42 confessions in my eye. That's the only picture that I have. There's no pictures. No, I don't do that. It's symbolic. Everybody got their purpose, and I got mine. Now, sculpture, not big on. But this may be what? An ancient deity of your choice, such as Haru, Aset, Tahuti, etc. Or a Christian icon such as Jesus or Mary. And in the Eastern icons such as who? Buddha from the Buddhists and Krishna Rama and Saraswati of the Vedantic Hindu tradition, etc. But you choose an icon according to what? Your spiritual inclination. What you know, who you know about him, what you think about him. If I did choose a God, Maya, balance, that's my favorite. And Tahuti, reason and rational logic, the mind of God. Those are two gods that I frequent with the most. Why? Those are the ones I use. Okay? This will help you to to develop what? Devotion toward that particular divine spirit that you chose to make. And it will hasten your progress in yoga. When you have something to relate to, you have a God that you speak to, that's what it's all about. And this is called what? Worship of God. How about that? With name and form. You put a name. My God's right there. I tell you all the time. When I pray, I'm talking to my dad. I deify him before he passed on. He was doing it to me. That's Buddha with the D. Okay, why? Because he's my dad. He brought me and he enlightened me. So he gets that prop. I did that a long time ago, way before I got enlightened. So I was enlightened symbolically a long time ago. P-Funk has been my name because symbolically it means pure real. That's me. I've had to live up to that for the last 40 years. I'm comfortable doing that now. Why? Because it's understood, it's respected, and adhered to. Moving on. Let's go. Where I'm at. Oh, Lord, the clock is running. All right, let me get this thing over with. Now, this will help you to, okay, did that, your God, their name form. If you're going to worship God, he has to have a form that you can identify with for yourself. It's universal God, the spirit, unknown. So you have to create your own for yourself. That's what makes the difference. Okay. Now, as you progress, you will be instructed on how to worship the divine in what? In an abstract way without using any names or forms. You practice Maya philosophy, selfish service, doing the right thing. All those things you can actually do. So it manifests through you. Moving on. 6. I don't do this one. Audio cassette tape. Nope. Don't have no need for that. Next one, number 7. Audio recordings. No use for that. That have prayers and meditation, exercises, just courses from authentic spiritual preceptors. Okay, they put it on tape, they send it to you. I don't listen to that. Moving on. Number 8. For the first time, initiation is a recommendation that you reserve, 1 hour when at 4 a.m. and that you fast from 6 p.m. the night before. This is also a good practice if you continue doing your regular morning worship and meditations. I fast for no reason at all. Just why? Because to show my dedication, my sacrifice of doing what I may want to do, what I like to do, put that on hold to serve a higher power. When you go into prayer, you have to make sacrifices from yourself. Not human sacrifice, not kill no animals, that nonsense. A sacrifice is giving up something that you want. That's all. Something that you're accustomed to. That's what sacrifice, the definition means, to giving up of something. I'm not giving you my firstborn. Ain't happening. We ain't going to deal with that. But I'm not going to sacrifice something of value. No, it's just something that you may want that's valuable just to you, not somebody's life or somebody else. That's not what sacrifice is about. We misinterpret that concept way big time. Moving on, let me wrap this up. So this is good. Okay, number 9. I don't pretty much do this one too. Now, but after reading this manual completely, select a heka. That's the word of power. A mantra. Mine is I do for you, what I do for you. Okay. That's me personally. And that's my words of power, which resonate with who? You. Every individual has their own mantra and their own words of power that resonate with them. If you don't feel a special connection to a particular heka, words of power, or if you prefer to wait for a period of time to allow yourself to become acquainted with the philosophy, and that's good, and the proceedings, the presiding deities of the heka, Simple. Use Om. Everybody go Om. That's Amen. For now. Okay, that's the start. That's the basic. Om. You can graduate and get better at it, but Om is the universal word of power, which is used with ancient Egypt and is used extensively even in India by the yogis. Om or Om or Aum is related to the word, you ready? Amun. Told you about him, the hidden one. From where? Ancient Egypt. And Amun is related to what? Amen of Christianity. Same person. Okay? So therefore, is generally useful for what? Spiritual practice. Is also not related to a particular deity, but is common to all deities. It is also the Heka mantra of the sixth energy center with the third eye at the point between the eyebrows, known as the ancient Egyptian, no, he called it Arak or Uraeus, the serpent, and more formally known or more commonly known as the third eye. But they call it the third eye of Shiva in India. See, everybody understood the concept. You will use Heka for chanting during your worship periods and idle time during the day. You can go into the meditative mode. You can go into chant mode whenever you feel comfortable. Okay. You will use it from now on and to dig deeper into what your unconscious regions of your own mind as what a miner uses his pick to cut into the mountain in search of what? Gold. Go inside yourself. It's in there. Now, moving on. I'm trying to get this thing down. That's 8. Got 3 more to go. Number 10. 10 means you're going to recite the auspicious Heka mantras of your choice for commencing your spiritual practice. These are given on page 76 and 78 of this book. I'll get to that later. Each prayer should be recited, 4 times? Each corners of the world. And this quadriplegic format is a symbolic way to what? Perpetuate the divine forces which control the 4 quarters of the phenomenal universe and the heavenly realms. I love this. There are 4 directions which the mind is aware of: east, north, west, and south. In the physical plane as the astral. The prayer is directed toward what? The purification of the mind and body, which will allow you, spiritual practice, the movement to be what? Unobstructed in earth as well as in heaven. It is perpetuation to what? The divine, that you should not be confined to a temporal world or time and space and physical body and the ego self-consciousness, so that you may go what? Beyond what? The ignorant state of ordinary human existence, and thereby discover the truth of your what? True nature as one with what? The supreme self, aka God. Now, playing or the morning worship, a meditation audio tape. I don't do that, so we're going to move past that one. But now at the end, this is the last one. The sacred music. Music was important to ancient times. Watch this. The ancient Egyptian was so potent, the music, and inspiring and compelling that what? It lives on even in the Christian Coptic music tradition of modern day Coptic church. In present day Egypt, it is believed by anthropologists that the primary characteristics of modern Coptic music were adopted from the music of ancient Egyptians. These characteristics include what? The use of the triangles, the symbols, and a strong vocal tradition. The Copts are regarded as what? The genetically purest direct descendants of the ancient Egyptians due to their what? Lack of intermarrying with the other Egyptians. I mean, they started marrying outside the race. Who are who? There was the Arabs descent. The whole of the Coptic service is being sung. The singing is alternated between what? The master chants from the priests and the choir of the deacons. Again, these techniques of chanting was also used where in ancient Egypt during the processions and recitals of what? The mystical rituals. Meaning every year they practiced certain rituals and everybody understood. From this point on, right thinkers resolved to what? Practice of the teachings presented to you from here. See yourself as one with the chosen few. Again, many are called, few are chosen. Feel like you're one of them, a few initiates into what? The divine spiritual discipline life. Spiritual discipline lifestyle is somebody who's going to live virtue, righteous, and uphold integrity. That means doing the right thing when nobody's watching, but knowing that he's always watching. That's the lesson. Right things. I hope you got the understanding. I got to go. And in closing, may all you right thinkers live to be 100 and me 100 minus a day. So I never know the right thinker like you have passed away. I'll be back. I got more.